Christ was going to come around. There was going to be a time in nature, which is God, is going to start revealing everything to his children. Because it's time for us to reign again. This is why everybody's saying, remember who you are. There are so many ancestors walking this earth right now.
When people are anxious or frightened, they're more susceptible to suggestion. They panic, they turn on each other. I mean, look how people are treating each other now. Aggressive, suspicious, unkind.
It's all part of the plan. We are being softened up. That sounds...
Is Bronny James doesn't know LeBron James. And I'm going to say this again. Bronny James doesn't know LeBron James.
Let's go on and see what's going on here.
A real human is a nurturer by default. Why are you not a nurturing person? You have to deal with that. Was it child trauma? Did you get touched on? Did you get beat up? Did you get bullied as a child? Was your father in the household? Did your mama leave you? Was you raised by the streets? Like, it's so many traumatic things that we have to deal with inwardly before we even able to fight the devil, or who we call the devil on the outside. We need to fight the devil, and that's I love the word enemy, because it literally says the inner me. So your inner you is your enemy. We got to deal with that first before we able to. And that's why I have to be like, lead by example. I can't be out here, clubbing all the time, smoking weed, eating bad food, shoving meat down my mouth when I'm teaching a total different narratives. And it seems like that's what humans do now. They teach one thing because it's a trend, but they practice another thing because that's really who they are. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to deal with who we are as individuals. And once we truly fix that, we can come together as a collective. And that's how we start turning things around. And the first step that I would do is I will teach true education about religion. Once I'm done teaching true education about religion, I will teach then put the religion to the side unless we need it in the households. Hopefully we can come together with one religion as a people, because we have the same people should have the same culture if we re-identify with our true culture. And then if we want to do a collective consciousness where we gather with other species of people, then, we don't even bring in no religion. We just focus on common denominators we need. And the common denominators we need as so-called black people is, first, we don't know who we are. We don't know our identity. Who are we? When are we? What are we? Where are we? Why are we?
They don't like human beings. In their history, in their teachings, the Andromedans say that they were taught that this universe was here for them, that they were left here and told it was theirs to rule. But when they started traveling, they ran across other races, and they were able to conquer many of those races. And how they've conquered those races was through genetic altering. Now, our government, the United States government, the world government, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it, wants to implant everybody.
Do you think what he is saying sounds credible or just a bunch of lies made for entertainment? Mind you, this was filmed in the 90s, and it has been almost 30 years since this was filmed. Put your idea in the comments below if this sounds credible or not. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Extraterrestrials, they can't be bothered with that stuff. Those are toys. That's not permanent. You can always lose the hand, it can always burn out, you could always die. In extraterrestrials, they don't value gold or silver, they value genetics. So what they do is they will come in, conquer a race, and genetically alter it. And it is the genetics that they put inside these races that alters their frequency, their sound, their thoughts, everything about them. Apparently the Greys were much more human-looking at one time. They, as a race, were captured approximately 893,000 years ago. According to Mornay, the first thing they did was they slaughtered almost all of the women. The reason they do that is to control the birth process. And what they did was they started to genetically alter the women, the females of that race, so that all the children born after that were genetically altered.
You can still manifest if you're sad. You can still manifest if you're having a rough day. You can still manifest regardless of what you're feeling. You just can't let what you're feeling be enough to stop you from getting what it is that you want. Because at the end of it all, yeah, we're gods, but yes, we're also humans on top of that. We have our sad moments, we have our sad days, we have our sad whatever. The whole thing here though is that you're willing to get the fuck up and to make more for yourself, to continue on strong regardless of what you're feeling. Because you know that that desire is going to show up for you regardless, okay? You want to feel like your best self, of course, who doesn't? But if in the case that you do feel upset for a day or two, whatever, something's going through your mind, don't let that be enough to stop you. The only way that it can stop you from getting what it is that you want is if you allow for it to. And yes, it is literally strictly said just like this, if you allow it to. So if you sit there and you're really sad and you're like, oh my god, my sadness is fucking it all up, I'm not gonna get what I want, that is a choice that you're making right then and there. You're choosing to not get what you want because you feel sad. I can't tell y'all how many things I have manifested even through feeling depressed, miserable, whatever else, and I'm sure you can say the same thing for yourself, because I highly doubt that you knew to be your best self since you were born. I'm sure you had some shitty moments in which you still manifested something, whether it was something you wanted or not, it was still manifested, so that goes to show that you did manifest, regardless. So don't be so hard on yourself here. Don't think so hard about it. Don't analyze each and every single feeling that you feel throughout the day, whatever else. As long as you're not telling yourself that you can't do it, I promise you that you always will be able to do it. Literally said just like that. Besides all of this, you can still be miserable, still feel very sad or whatever, and you can still tell yourself, I'm gonna get it regardless. I'm not worried. I know it's gonna happen anyway, even though I'm really sad right now, whatever else, and it will still happen. Because you want to know why? What you're feeling doesn't have anything to do with what it is that you're manifesting, unless you let it be something that determines everything for you. But you're going to be smarter than that, because you know that that's not going to get you anywhere. Counting your desires to be linked to how you're feeling doesn't have to be a thing. Don't shit on yourself because you're crying a bit. Babe, cry it out. You feel me? I be crying. Shit, I'm a 12th house stellium. No shit, I be crying. But at the end of it all, guess what I still do? I still manifest the thing, so I'm not worried. I'ma cry regardless, and I'ma still get it regardless, so I'm not worried. Just like you shouldn't be either. So all in all, guys, the only thing that I'm gonna ask you guys not to do is to link those sad feelings that you're having to you not getting what it is that you want because you cried, because you were angry, because you said something or you felt something, whatever else. Listen, it can't stop you if you don't let it, okay? So even a shitty thought once or twice is not going to stop anything unless you say that it will. But you're not going to do that because you know that you're allowed to cry and still manifest what it is that you want. So cry it out, but still know that you're going to get that shit, because you absolutely will. You already have. Feelings don't need to mean anything. Remember that.
This year is actually surreal. The US State Department has just issued a rare worldwide travel warning to all Americans looking on planning any trips abroad. The caution reads, due to increased tensions in various locations around the world, the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against US citizens, the Department of State advises US citizens overseas to exercise increased caution. Now, this warning follows widespread anti-American protests in the Middle East, which included a 24-hour siege on the US Embassy in Beirut, the burning of American flags in Jakarta, and even a bomb threat at the US Embassy in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Things are getting wild, but of course, as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
The Disney Channel definitely doesn't want you to see this documentary.
WTF, I've never seen this.
Tonight we celebrate the new Tomorrowland at Walt Disney World in Florida with a television special that's out of this world. Hello, I'm Michael Eisner, head of the Walt Disney Company. In a top-secret military installation somewhere in the United States, there are those who believe that the government is hiding the remains of an alien spacecraft that mysteriously crashed to Earth. With more and more scientific evidence of alien encounters and UFO sightings, the idea of creatures from another planet might not be as far-fetched as we once thought.
No, you know.
Facts you never knew. The last one will shock you. It's impossible to hum while holding your nose. Women actually tend to speak fewer words a day than men, despite stereotypes saying otherwise. Do you want to know who your secret crush is? It's the second person you see when you click share and slide all the way down and click more. If you Google the words do a barrel roll, the page will do a clockwise spin. Go do it and come back and tell me if it worked in the comments below.
I'm gonna try
For
that.
the last fact, support this page by clicking the follow button for more interesting facts every day. In 1972, Marina Abramovich did an art performance where she told visitors she would not move for 6 hours, no matter what they did to her. She placed 72 items in a table in front of her. There was objects for pleasure like a rose, wine, and perfume, but also objects for pain like scissors, whips, and even a loaded Everything started off gentle but gradually became more aggressive as people got more comfortable. One person even holding the up to Marina's head until somebody else had to come and pull it away from him. About 3 hours in, and all of her clothes were ripped off, and even rose thorns from the roses in her abdomen. After the 6 hours was up, Marina said this: "If you leave it up to the audience, they will unalive you."
Everyone who's watching this, everyone who is a Muslim, a Christian, an atheist, take half the time that you went into these religious books and start looking into numerology, start looking into astrology, start looking into what the elite believe in. Because if you want to be at the top of the game, you have to learn what the people at the top of the game know. And that is numerology and astrology. There is a reason, an absolute reason, certain things happen when they do.
Remember when I told you that I believe one person is creating the emergency? This is how.
They definitely put the truth in the movies.
Question. Do you feel anything?
My stomach is a little upset.
Interesting. That's actually a side effect for the very sensitive. Number 2 and Rhonda, please engage the receivers. Thank you. Now, it looks normal, but listen to what's underneath.
The missing are missing. They're only departed. Poison apple.
How you got an angle like that?
Pardon possession. A look on the shoulder.
What were those?
Those are the hidden messages that are being broadcast on every TV and radio, and they're infecting our minds without us even knowing they're there. The emergency is caused by subliminal messages.
Manipulation fibrosa.
Yes. It's taken a long time for me to put this together. The sender of these messages is putting our psyches under siege.
Why would someone do that?
When people are anxious or frightened, they're more susceptible to suggestion. They panic, they turn on each other. I mean, look how people are treating each other now. Aggressive, suspicious, unkind.
It's all part of the plan. We are being softened up.
That sounds bad.
It is.
After the ESPYs, this happened. I cover the ESPYs. Yes, I'm a journalist. I'm a reporter. I cover the ESPYs. And one thing I didn't cover at the ESPYs was Bronny James. We covered LeBron James, but we didn't cover Bronny James. And they have stylists within the industry. Those outfits that every entertainer or every athlete is wearing is by design.
Exactly.
They knew that this was going to happen, and this is why he is wearing all red. He doesn't understand that he is a sacrifice. It's like in Houston, the Prince family knew that Takeoff was a sacrifice. Jay Prince knew what was going to happen in Takeoff. Offset knew what was going to happen in Takeoff. Jay Prince Jr. knew what was going to happen in Takeoff. Everybody knew except Takeoff. Quavo, everybody knew. QC, everybody knew. Everybody in the industry knew exactly what was going to happen to Takeoff, but Takeoff. 9 out of 10, when you are the sacrifice in the industry, you have to understand a lot of Masons behind closed doors, they wear blindfolds. And they do this for a reason. Because 9 out of 10, you don't know what's coming. Bronny James the whole time is blindfolded to who his father really is. Bronny James doesn't know LeBron James. And I'm going to say this again. Bronny James doesn't know LeBron James. Bronny James was born into this family. Bronny James' wife, I could imagine she's probably with the pool guy or somebody else other than LeBron James, because LeBron James is sold out to the industry. LeBron James is not who we think he is. LeBron James is down with the boule. Floyd Mayweather, all these guys, and everybody keeps saying, Wiley, Gilly, oh, every time a black man becomes successful, it has to be. Yes, it has to be. This is the world. You think in the movie The Matrix, the Oracle, she said it best. She said, what do all rich men of power want? And she said, more power. You think they want more power. This is going to be the longest intro ever because, see, the doctors are in on it. Yes, the doctors are in it. It's like Michael Jackson, when he was talking about what goes on in the industry, his doctor took him out. Now, you're probably going to think, Mr. Keep It Simple, are you not worried? Listen, I'm not worried because I'm not in the industry. I'm not worried because I took my time. I didn't take the elevator to the top. I started off at a temp agency. Shout out to Ron Stock. I started off at a temp agency. I started off at a warehouse. I caught the bus. Not only did I catch the bus, but I also caught the bus in the rain as well. Yes, grinding, real man, not making any excuses. So when you are in the industry and you take an oath, this is why they put the shh. This is why they make that symbol. When you see that shh, they're not saying be quiet. They're making that symbol because they took an oath and they can't speak on the mysteries of what happens behind the scenes. So there's a difference between me telling people get a 9 to 5 and the industry is not where you want to be, as opposed to somebody like Rick Ross speaking out about it, or Meek Mills or Bootsy speaking out about Ghazi. They took an oath.
Just know when you see me in your timeline, stop scrolling. I got something I need to tell you. We have been lied to. As soon as we come out the womb of our mothers, we must unlearn to relearn. We've been lied to about everything. I'm only here in this realm to expose the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. The truth is the only thing that's going to set us free. The only thing that's going to set us free. If speaking and exposing the truth gets me persecuted, then so be it. I chose my destiny a long time ago, and I'm going to stand on that. What I'm about to reveal to you, the majority won't be able to handle. Nevertheless, you need to pray and ask the Most High to reveal the truth to you. Before I roll the clip, I wanted to give a special shout out to my brother Truth Unedited. I love you for everything that you do. Keep working for the kingdom. Now I need y'all to listen and pay attention. It's about to get deep. Roll the clip.
Everything is a lie, so I'm going to call some things out. And the more of these things you do not recognize, the more you are in the strong delusion. Here's some things you should know that will help you out the strong delusion. First, like I said earlier, this world is completely run by Satan. Completely. The people in the mainstream, from your elected officials, celebrities, business leaders, and everyone else in between that are mainstream, are all sellouts who have sold their soul for the fame and fortune that they have received. You think that whole thing with Lecrae and all that is about a difference of doctrine? No. Lecrae, he sold out. He's been sold out. We all knew it. Okay. Most people are cheering on and being influenced by the scum of modern day history. Period. Money is not real. The value of it is created by those with power. People have been tricked into devoting their life to something that does not matter and will change whenever those with power want it to. Talking about money. Democracy is not real. It is an illusion created by people with power to control the people without it. There are no real political parties. They have just created sides to give the illusion of choice. Presidents and politicians are not elected, they are selected. Elections are only used to understand if the public is believing the lies. The world is controlled by a small handful of people. All wars and economic collapses are planned and orchestrated long before they happen in order to create order out of chaos. These wars and economic collapses are just events that are leading the world to the worship of the beast. The most influential religion in this world is Freemasonry. It's not just a secret society. The world is divided and controlled through a pyramid hierarchy. Satan is at the top, the masses controlled by the mainstream are at the bottom. The sellouts are all in between. The real war being waged against us all is spiritual and mental. The news is nothing but psychological misinformation to steer the general public. Our entertainment from music, television, and movies are major tools of mind control used to control the masses. Also, our entertainment from music, television, and movies are just sermons from Satan. Education is not about empowering minds. It's about indoctrinating them. Unfortunately, those charged with the job of educating the teachers, the principals, they are mostly unaware of it for the most part. Medicine is not about healing people, but controlling people. The religions of the world are not real. They all lead back to Satan. Satan has played a bigger role in Christianity than the majority are aware of. The Bible is not an American or European book. It was only hijacked by Europeans and Americans. The God of the Bible has a name, and it was written over 6,000 times in the Old Testament. His name is Yahuwah, written in the tetragrammaton form like this, or with the actual Hebrew characters. The reason his name is not in our mainstream Bibles is because they have followed the ineffable name doctrine that says his name is too holy to utter. You should not follow that doctrine. The Messiah's true name was never Jesus. The people the mainstream world believe are Jews are not actually the people the Bible is speaking of. The restoration of Israel, Bible prophecy, was not fulfilled when the nation of Israel was created in 1948. It has not happened yet. The world is not truly divided by skin color or race. The world is divided by tribes, nation, and tongue. All people are descendants of tribes on earth that come from Ham, Japheth, and Shem. Satan created race to disguise the hatred he has for Yah's chosen people. He used skin color to disguise his agendas of hatred and oppression. Skin color and nationalities are the worst way to identify people because when different tribes mix with others, it produces different skin complexions. For instance, when Japheth mixes with Ham, it creates a tannish complexion with blended features. There's no way of knowing who they actually are by the color of their skin. The skin color you see in the Middle East is not what it was in ancient history. It is based from the mixing of Japheth, Greeks and Romans, with Hamites, Egyptians and Ethiopians, when Greece and Rome conquered the known world. The transatlantic slave trade was not done at random. They did not pick people with black skin at random. The slavers knew exactly who it was that they were taking. The Negroes are actually Hebrews of Israel. They were taken from the land that European slavers labeled Negro land, which was once the Songhai Empire, which descends from the Zah dynasty, which was a Hebrew empire. The enslavement, oppression, prejudice, and overall abuse of the Negro was not about their skin color, but about their spiritual identity and the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 that were placed on them because of the disobedience and rebellion of their ancestors. White supremacy is a satanic doctrine that most people are unaware that they are influenced by. Black, white, any other culture. The period of the Renaissance is the time when the world began to come together to formulate their massive lie. All lies and falsehoods began to be covered up during this period in history. The world is not a globe. It is flat, and the earth and heaven is divided by waters and the firmament, as Genesis chapter 1 tells us. The truth about the shape of the earth and the firmament is not told so that people do not truly recognize the power of the Most High and they are able to follow the lies Satan is creating to promote the beast. Aliens are not real. They are actually demons. The pre-tribulation rapture is a doctrine Satan created to trick the mainstream church in believing they need to be the ones plucked off the earth instead of inheriting it. He changed your promises.
That was a lot of one.
And I'm going to use the terminology and the analogy that I got from young Pharaoh before they MK Ultra'd his ass. And he said that God is the highest expansion of the mind that uses elements and matter to express itself. I love that definition. I'm going to say it again for y'all. God is the highest expansion of the mind that uses elements and matter to express itself. So in order for y'all to really grasp what that means, y'all have to know what these words mean. So if you think about the highest expansion of the mind, expanding your mind is opening your mind, right? So the highest expansion of the mind, that's what God will be, right? Christ consciousness. This is what this all ties into. The downloads that you receive once you're open-minded to new knowledge and wisdom and information, it's amazing. all of that wisdom, all of that, that is God, right? Knowledge, that is God. Everything good, that is God, right? And then matter being everything around us. Everything around us is matter. I'm matter, you're matter. This cement is matter. The earth is matter. And then we got to think about elements. Elements are what? Fire, air, water, nature. So nature is God as well, right? So back in the ancient times, back in when the Egyptians and all them, they would worship the sun as God, because when people pass away, what is it that they say that they see, y'all? The light, right? They see the light. When you look up at the sun, baby, what do you see? You see the light, baby. You see the light. This is the same light that we see when we pass away. So this is why people would say that the sun that we see here, the physical body that we see here, that is the sun, is actually a physical representation of the source, the creative source in which we all come from, right? And when we talking about the creative source, we're talking about the creator of the entire universe, not just Earth. And this is where we're so closed-minded in a sense. They've made us and they programmed us to be so closed-minded in a sense, because people are only thinking from the 3D level of Earth. Some people don't even believe that aliens exist. That's the craziest shit ever. We are aliens. That's the craziest shit ever, y'all. We are aliens to another planet, because there's plenty of planets. And if y'all think that Earth is the only place that humans, or not even, I don't want to say humans, because I think Earth is the only place that humans exist. But to say that Earth is the only place where life exists, that's crazy. That's literally crazy. So the creative source is the creator of the entire universe. So that's Earth, that's all the planets, that's all the solar system, that's all the galaxies. Do you know how much stuff exists truly? So that is the source. Y'all want to get connected to the most high creator? That is the source. That is what you want to get connected to. God is just the highest expansion of the mind that expresses itself through elements and through matter. So when it comes to physical people like me and you calling ourselves gods or goddesses, now that ties back to DNA. What is in your DNA? Are you truly one of God's original people? Because only God's truly original people, which is the earth's true original people, right, have that in their DNA. It traces back to DNA, right? The blackest of the blackest people were the first inhabitants on this planet. So if you have dark skin, baby, you are closer to true royalty and godly energy than you truly know, right? The most purest energy that you could ever have and purest consciousness that you could ever have, right, is going to be in the darkest, most melanated people with that carbon in their DNA. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to my white brothers and sisters, I say this with all due respect and no offense to be taken, but it's just not in your DNA, baby. It's just not in your DNA. And this ain't to say that, you know, we're the more superior race, but if we're talking about physics, if we're talking about the universe, if we're talking about history, if we're talking about the true beginning of time, baby, we are that. And this is exactly why everything is the way that it is today. And we're suppressed and oppressed and shit like that today, because if the true melanated gods and goddesses knew their power, this is why they had to make us forget our history, forget who we are, forget where we come from, because we were too fucking powerful, y'all. We still have that in our DNA today. It's still in our DNA today. That Eve gene. Now this ties back into y'all Bible with Adam and Eve. This is where it all comes from. They're the black woman, the melanated woman, right? She is the physical form of God, the first physical form of God in a human's body, bro. Now the skin was so black, nigga, it looked green. We talking, and now if you know about Anunnaki, then y'all already know where I'm going with this. But yeah, we are the true gods and goddesses in the physical form, the children of the sun, the children of God. God, y'all got to think about what I told y'all, what God really is. But like I said, if y'all want to worship the creator, then y'all worshiping the source, the creative source that created all of the universe, not just earth. Okay? So y'all got to get out of that Bible that's telling y'all what it's telling y'all and get into the true the true books, the true written analogies, and the true history. Listen to these prophets that are out here, because they put it in y'all Bible not to listen to no false prophets, and that was all premeditated because they knew that the age of Aquarius was going to come around. There was going to be a time in nature, which is God, is going to start revealing everything to his children, because it's time for us to reign again. This is why everybody's saying, remember who you are. There are so many ancestors walking this earth right now in younger bodies. There are so many light workers, gods and true gods and goddesses that were there back in those ancient times that are here now to reclaim what is ours, what is rightfully ours, and that is planet Earth, that is planet Gaia, that is planet Kai. Okay? So,
no more days
y'all just gonna keep watching the show, as we all are. It's an amazing time to be alive right now, y'all. But if you want to truly know, remember who you are and know what's happening in this world and be aware of things that are happening and truly be conscious, it is time to let go of what we've been taught and start to teach ourselves the truth, nigga. The truth will set us all free. Why do you think they say that? I say, I'm getting confirmation from the other side, y'all. This is real shit. But, you know, believe it if you believe it. If you don't, you don't. You have free will, and I respect your free will. I respect your perspectives. But the truth is out there. I'm not the only one saying this. Y'all can go further, dive into what I'm saying. Don't just take my word for what I'm saying. Dive in and do your own research until you're at peace within your spirit about what the truth is for you. If it don't resonate for you, hey, it just ain't supposed to. Everybody's not going to get the message. Everybody's not going to. But for those out there that receive this message, it's time, baby. We out.
Yo, great video right there, man. A lot of gems in that vid. Yeah, I made it to the end. All right, we have made it to the end. I appreciate you staying this long. If you have, if you didn't, it's okay. Well, you probably not even here, but whatever. I appreciate you guys for showing the support. Still, views ain't hitting right now, but it's okay. We still gonna keep posting this because I'm enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? It's stimulating my mind. Hoping y'all get some kind of information and you can take it from the video, whatever, and you can probably use it in your daily life. But I'm gonna leave it on that. I'll see you guys in the next vid. Sending peace, abundance, and I hope you have an abundant prosperity day today, man. Make today a good one. You want to go outside? Go outside. Get some sunlight, man. Get in the grass. All that good stuff, man. Eat something healthy. Yeah. That's what I'm going to today. I ain't gonna lie. But peace. See you guys in the next one.